Hi guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Casey, and if you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to talk about how to embrace failure and bounce back in 9 easy steps, okay? This video is going to be all about how to bounce back from failure. So we're just going to hop right into it. Have you ever wanted to bounce back from failure? Here are a variety of tips and tricks that are guaranteed to help you better understand the value of failure and success. When we make mistakes, we often try to ignore our failures either by distractions or claiming blindness to it. Blindness. Sorry, I got my braces done, so my teeth feel all kinds of different right now. Okay, but take it from someone who has had to learn the benefits of failure, okay? And I have failed so many freaking times. Failure sucks. There's no candy coating it. It can definitely make you question everything, whether that be your abilities, whether that be choices, or even your worth. But here's the thing, failure is never and will never be the end. If you look at it the right way, it could be a plot twist, and if you handle it right, it can be the beginning of something even better. So if you're feeling down about a setback, here is my tips on how to shake it off and return back stronger than ever. I hope this guide will help you in your journey to success and also finding a healthy balance between failure and success. At the end of the day, it is all the same. Failure is just a learning experience in disguise. I say this all the time. I have a blog, so everything that I will say in this video will also be in my blog. I will add the link down below so that if you would rather read it, or you can continue to watch this video, either or. But let's just get into it. The first one is to track your path to your ending results. Tracking your progress allows you the ability to look back at your work and see how far you come. Not only does it give you the starting pace, it also makes it more real. Leaders don't just show up with a plan and it just works out. A lot of times when you see someone who has successfully mastered the art that they're working on, they have sat down and made a plan for it. They've had weekly goals, quarterly goals. Hell, they might even have goals that you and I will never ever hear of. And you have to remember, we don't want to repeat the same exact mistake. I feel like my glasses are making it hard for you guys to see, and it looks like it's just blurred, okay? We're gonna put these up here, okay? Girl, I don't know, it's the sun, it's something. Hi, this is me from the future. I'm currently editing this stupid video. I just realized that half my freaking eyebrow is gone. Where'd it go? Rubbing it off. Like, I'm not redoing this video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And I just think I look so good in this. Ugh. Something's in the air. Anyways, back on track. If you have been following, you know how much I say journal, 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 and journal. You can also try a planner, but you have to find one that matches your style. As someone who is a Type A/minimalist, I have found it so hard to find a journal that fit my needs, my wants, and everything else underneath the sun. Because I'm a princess, and princess deserves everything that is perfect. And I found something after weeks of research, and it's something that I show in my videos at least once every other video. You see my journal. Let me show you. Here is my journal. It is a minimalist journal because too much stuff going on a page will distract me from my goals. And I don't want that. You don't want that. Maybe you do though. Maybe you do. Well, you gotta find the right journal for yourself. At the end of the day, we want to see where we start and where we end so that we can see how far we have gotten. Plus, it's motivational. Next one is don't shy away from your lack of understanding, okay? Failure comes in all shapes and sizes. You are probably not the first to make this mistake. Most mistakes are made through ignorance and through not knowing better. Education is so important. You don't know something, take a class, look for a mentor. It can help you move forward. Now, I'm not saying walk around with the big letter A stapled to your chest. If you know the movie, you know the movie. What I am saying is when you know your strengths and your weaknesses, you are already 10 steps ahead of somebody in your exact position, okay? Like I said, you are never alone, okay? There are people out there that have experienced failure, probably 10 times more than you have. And it's just always great to ask. There's nothing wrong with that. It shouldn't be an embarrassment to not know things. For example, I started blogging in November of 2023, and I didn't take any classes in the beginning. For 6 months, I relied heavily on my own knowledge and my own research. And guess what? When I finally came around and I was looking at everybody else's blogs who started at the same exact time that I did, far more ahead than I was. You wanna know why? Because they took courses. They took time to read up on blogging. So yes, I ended up paying over $700 in courses, but I am so glad I did, because 3 months after taking my first course, I was able to get monetized, and I feel like I know somewhat of what I'm doing. Obviously, my blog is as successful as it is. The next thing I would advise is to check your ego at the door. Okay? I always say this, ego is a man's worst enemy. There is nobody that's gonna wanna make you settle for less than your ego. And ego is a person's sense of self-esteem and self-importance. Casey, that doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't my ego want me to do better? No, your ego doesn't want you to feel stupid. So your ego is never going to allow you to stoop low enough to understand that, yeah, I made a mistake. I am sorry if this is the first time that you're hearing this, but the world does not revolve around you. Tell yourself this, and I advise you to tell yourself this before somebody else does or failure does. And you are not above change, okay? My camera just died again. I don't know what to do. These batteries suck. If you guys have any better batteries for Sony, like, gosh, I don't know. It runs out of battery so quickly. But as I was saying, what did I say? You are not above change, okay? Nobody is, you're not, I'm not. And this is just the beauty of life, dude. We are humans, and we understand ourselves better than any other being on this earth, whether that be bears, whether that be tigers, whether that be ants. We know ourselves. We understand ourselves. Oh, sorry, my phone's going off. Busy girl. Phone dying, camera dying, phone going off. Anyways, all right, as I was saying, yeah, you made a mistake. There's always today like there was yesterday to start over. And honestly, you owe it to yourself while you're on this earth to stare failure in the face, because a lot of people will not do that, and grow from it. Will it sting? Yes, but in the end, we have to understand why we are here. Next one, you have to set boundaries for yourself. I talk about setting boundaries for other people externally, but right now we're working internally. One of the biggest lessons that failures teaches us is where our limits are and where we need to create some boundaries. Maybe you overextended yourself, took out too much time, took on too much, trusted the wrong people. I've done that many times. Honestly, now is the time to protect your energy. Say no. Just say no. What's the worst that could happen? I'm only saying this. Say no when necessary, okay? Guard your time like it's the last piece of chocolate. And only invest in things that align with your goal. And there's nothing wrong with being selfish in this time, okay? Of course, that sounds easier said than done, but how important is this to you, huh? How important is this to you? You only get one life, and failure is what is keeping you from turning that one card that could change your whole trajectory. You are wasting time, and just think of it as this. You're gonna have to take a leap one day or another, and now it all depends on if you want to take control now that you have a choice, or do you want to take a chance later when you have no choice and probably the opportunity is no longer there or on the table. And if you fall, honestly, just get right back up, because right now you have the time. Who's to tell you that in the future you might not have the time? Probably not. I mean, even if you did, just think about it as that. I have the time now to fix something. Why not take advantage of that now? All right, the next one is turn your negative experience into a positive. Think positive, think positive, think positive. Every failure comes with hidden lessons. It's like an unwanted gift, but it's a gift that keeps giving. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Maybe it's a new strategy, a better approach, simply a realization that you need to pivot. Okay, turn that L into a learning experience. And also, side note, there probably won't be a next time, because you'll be way more equipped to better handle the situation. You are what makes the experience. It's all about how you perceive this lesson. Keep that in mind, that life is what you make it. Hannah Montana. The next tip I would give you is to try again. Try again. Always continue to try. Nobody likes failing, but the only failure is quitting. If something didn't work out, tweak your approach, go for it again and again. Most success stories are mounted on past failures. Thomas Edison, I think he failed like over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. J.K. Rowling, I think she tried to get Harry Potter like published at least 12 times before it was actually published. And now look at it, a global sensation. Everybody makes mistakes. The one thing is nobody focuses on the failure if you succeed at least once. And that is from my own mouth. Quote unquote, me. Quote. And the next tip, everybody makes mistakes and nobody's perfect. Seriously, show me someone who has never failed and I'll show you someone who's never tried anything challenging. Making mistakes is part of the human experience. Even the most successful people have stumbled, sometimes spectacularly. Imagine your failure on television in front of thousands of people where people can probably re-record it. Just be grateful that you are not like that. Instead of beating yourself up, remind yourself that perfection is a myth and mistakes are stepping stones to success. I like to think sometimes about how social media makes you feel like everybody has their crap together. You do not know what these people are going through behind closed doors. Every story is being written just like yours, just like mine, and yes, we are all dealing with our egos and making mistakes of our own. All right, so I have 2 more and I will let you go. Look at me just talk. Anyways, next one is to start fresh. Clean slate. I made a mistake. What do you mean I made a mistake? I'm perfect. I'm perfect now. Start fresh. Sometimes the best way to bounce back from a failure is to hit a reset button. Like, take a step back. Take a breather and start with a clean slate. Whether that means reworking your approach, switching gears entirely, or just taking a short break or clear your head. Don't ever be afraid to start over. Personally, me, I had a breaking point where I needed to take a step back from my blogging, from my YouTube, and I'm so glad I did because it gave me a new perspective on how important it is to nurture what's going on in here, because it can get very, very toxic. When I'm too busy worried about externally, you cannot focus internally. And when you are dealing with content creating, when you're dealing with, hell, let's just talk about homework. Failing sucks, especially when it is in your face. And I was at the point where the numbers weren't looking as good as I wanted it to, and I just wanted to quit. But I took a short break and I cleared my head and I got a fresh new perspective, and it did so much. It did wonders, actually. One question that kept popping up in my head was, what brings me peace? So I'm going to ask you, what brings you peace? This is so important to think about when you are on your journey to bounce back from failure. Take it from me, it can be so tiring when all you're doing is focusing on being perfect, even though we are perfect. When you even talk about, if anybody asks, I'm perfect. I've never said I'm not perfect. But take it from me, it is exhausting. Clean slate, take a break, and then pivot. Now that's perfect. Lastly, I want us to celebrate what we did do right. We got here, we are breathing. Yes, you failed at something, but does that mean you failed at everything? Acknowledge what you did do well, even if it's just the fact that you had the guts to try it in the first place. Bon, my significant other, does a great job of making sure that we celebrate the small wins and use them as motivations to keep us forward. Because I can focus on the big wins, because I'm very much a right here, right now type of person. It's hard for me to think in the future. I want the gratification right here, right now. He's reminded me that I have so much to be grateful for right here, right now. And I have time to make these mistakes. Be grateful you have the time to make the mistakes and then survive it in the end. Because a lot of people do not get to say that same exact thing. And if you are like me, you know some people who are not here right now that would love to have the opportunity to make the mistakes, to fail the way that you did. Give yourself grace and pat yourself on the back. You've made it this far. I just want to end this video by saying I'm so grateful for the people who watch my videos every single week. I am so grateful for the fact that people want to hear what I have to say. I'm learning with you. I am growing with you. I want to do better. I am trying to figure out who I am before I'm 30. I want to be able to grasp that I have value for this life. I want you to also grasp that, because it is so important, and failure is such a big part of that. I just want us to grow from that, and at the end of the day, as long as we are here every single day trying to grow from that, that's all that matters. And that's all I'm going to say for this video. I do go live on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for about 30 minutes. If you could catch those, go ahead. I do more Q&As on there. I am taking a step back from Instagram, but go ahead and follow your girl on Instagram and on Threads. Yes, I will probably get back on there if I get more people who care to see my content. It's not like I'm posting for people, but I really do want to focus on return on investments this quarter, and Instagram is just taking up a lot of time. I do still do blogging. I will link the blog post that this video is revolved around down below. I'm sorry, what's going on? Losing my breath. Anyways, I hope you guys get the chance to go outside this week. It is so nice out. Where I'm living, it is so freaking nice out. And until next time, bye. Period. I felt so much better this week. Oh, I feel so